Well, throughout the globe, climate activists have been making their voices heard ahead of the United States Climate Change Summit set for next week. In Paris, thousands of climate activists, joined by a few hundred yellow vest protesters, are demanding that the French government takes greater action on climate change and measures for social justice. Joining us now to talk more on this is SABC reporter Noma Bolani, who is at the United Nations in New York. Noma, very good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, the Youth Climate Change Summit is currently underway and climate change seemed to be a hot topic. Do tell us more on this.
Yes, definitely, Cynthia. Good evening. Climate change is the main focus for this year's United Nations General Assembly. So to kick off the high-level week, the Secretary General decided to invite the youth for the very first time to have their own climate summit. And we've seen a lot of young people leading the fray in terms of advocating for climate change. And I managed to speak to one of the South Africans who was to present their idea of how to assist in climate change. His name is Brayton Mabasa from Limpopo. He was invited to United Nations after he submitted his idea of how to help small-scale farmers use weather information in their farming.
And now we understand that President Donald Trump will be at the United Nations headquarters on Monday during the key climate change crisis, but will only be there to attend a different event on religious freedom instead. I mean, isn't this seen as a blatant snub to the climate crisis, given the fact that he'll be there at the same building on the same day, but discussing a totally different business?
Yes, and we did ask the spokesperson for the Secretary General this week about the attendance of the U.S. President Donald Trump. And he kind of said that, there would be a high-level delegation sent from America. They couldn't have confirmation of Donald Trump, but it does send a strong message to where his priorities are. Climate change is a huge thing in America because you do know that they have a lot of emissions coming from America, and there's been a lot of changes happening in the country. But America, being a big player, should actually have the president participate in this, and also to assist other countries, and especially the neighboring countries for America, in fighting climate change.
So what are some of the significant issues that will be tackled at the main United Nations General Assembly? And I would imagine that the tensions between Iran and the United States will be high on the agenda.
Definitely. So tensions in the Middle East are definitely going to be high on the agenda during high-level week. But I think this year what the Secretary General is concentrating on, and the main focus is that he wants all the countries to have strong action plans against climate change, as well as towards the Sustainable Development Goals. He says he doesn't want any more diplomatic banter. He wants to see plans that can be implemented very, very soon in order to reach the 2030 goals.
Will President Trump meet Iranian president? Have you heard anything to that effect?
That has been the question of the week, whether or not the two will sit down. I think the press corps is looking to see if they confirm if that will happen. There hasn't been any news coming from both states if that is likely to happen.
All right. Noma Bolani, thank you so much for joining us. That was our reporter, Noma Bolani, speaking to us live from New York. She's attending the United Nations General Assembly.